What's up?
What's happening? This the Austin. Oh no, don't stop now.
It's the
Austin's. How y'all doing? Title of the day is No Mask Mandate.
No Mask Mandate. I think that's a good title. Now this one is not a scriptural one, I guess, or we're not doing the whole Bible study thing. It's just more like a conversation / testimony almost.
Yeah, we're gonna throw some in our endeavors into it. Yeah. So you catch a good feel of it,
Okay, so yeah, I thought it'd be cool to talk about masks, right? Not like the ones we just had to wear during the COVID, but spiritual masks. Yeah, I guess you can just call it spiritual masks. Mm-hmm. The masks that we wear to portray that we are a certain way when really on the inside we are the opposite, complete opposite. Right. Or for an example, I know I was one who smiled a lot. I laughed a lot. Still really goofy, but truly on the inside, I had a lot of hurts, a lot of insecurities. I was always the one that's trying to keep everything afloat around me. I was always the one, and I still am the person who always give the advice. But during then, I didn't have, I was the one who needed a lot of help myself, or needed the love myself. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't say it. But you could see it. A lot of time when we wear masks, we think other people don't see or notice that we got a mask on. Right. We try to be in disguise and cover up our issues or cover up our hurts and things as a defense. But when
you really crying out for help.
Yeah, you're really crying out for help, and it's really noticeable. It's pretty noticeable, unless you're just really dealing with somebody who may be in the same boat. They may think, we all good, because y'all look the same. So that's kind of what this video about. Yeah, and just encouraging other, especially young women, a lot of young women, because I know I see it in guys too.
Don't forget the men.
I do. I see it in guys too, but
and the men.
I'm gonna let him address more for the men. But I would say for young women, if I could get this advice, I would have liked for someone to tell me that I didn't have to be seductive. I didn't have to be
flirtatious.
Yeah, extra flirtatious to get attention. Or I didn't do a lot of showing my body parts like a lot of people do now. Now they pretty much walk around naked. But I wish somebody told me I didn't have to do that. What else? That I was beautiful. A lot of young women don't hear that they're beautiful. And if they do, it's usually for something in exchange, for their body, mm-hmm. Or from another female, maybe. And that's really rare because, we got a lot of now where they try to put us against each other now. But yeah, tell me that I'm beautiful, because I think that has a lot to do with it too. When you don't get the love that you need in your own home, or the people around you that's supposed to be like family, especially if you grew up in church like me. I was the rejected one everywhere I went. So when I come home, I was the rejected one. When I went to church, I was the rejected one. Like the cast out one, like, nah, she not invited. She stay over there. You know what I mean? So love, like, having that love, knowing that I am loved, even with God, by God, that took time for me to know that. And then when I did get to a place where people actually started saying I was beautiful, I thought they was checking me, from Memphis. Checking is like you talking bad, like you still clowning me.
It's a slander.
Yeah, it's like you still getting slandered. Yeah. So I didn't know if they truly meant that I was beautiful, or they just, joning, or like they just checking me, So to know, like, you are beautiful, you are loved, you are appreciated, you are somebody, you have purpose. I didn't hear all that. So I'm telling any young woman watching this that you are appreciated, you are loved, you are beautiful, and God actually has a plan for your life too.
Right.
And I know it's kind of hard to see when you're in an environment with other people who are belittling you, or other people who may be in the same boat as you.
I feel like you have to keep the mask on.
Yeah, and you in this push to wear your mask, because especially now I see a lot where they say, being nonchalant or unbothered or whatever you want to call it, you being strong because you protecting your peace. No, you're not. The truth is
You
you're
being
not.
ate up inside. Them folks eating at you.
The truth is you're
Them
not
words
really at peace.
tagging and you deteriorating on the inside because they tagging that butt.
I was a nonchalant queen. I would say I was a nonchalant queen, but all that stuff is in there. You pondering on that stuff. You put it on yourself, and this is another thing I should say: relationships, especially when you've been in multiple relationships as a female, searching for love, and you think you found that person, and then it don't go well. Let's say whatever they stepped out, you whatever. You put that on yourself as your identity. You feel like, dang, what is it about me that's not worthy? Like, why nobody want to stay with me? Why this person decided to go this route, or why they don't love me, or but it's not you. It took me so long to get that. It took me so long to get that it wasn't me. It was not me. They simply, one, was not for me. And two, they weren't ready for me.
Relationships of the flesh.
And it was their insecurities.
That's what it was.
It was
true.
Yeah, it had a lot to do with them too. Now, not saying I didn't have any insecurities, but I didn't have to put that on myself because I took the blame for
a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. If somebody walked out on me or if somebody betrayed me, I took it on myself. Like, dang, I must be a bad friend, or dang, I must be, a bad person. I must not be caring enough. I must not be affectionate enough. I must not be, all these things. And I took that on as my identity, and that wasn't my identity.
Just take a pause. Just rewind it back one time.
Okay.
You said some things I didn't get a chance to capitalize on.
Okay.
So, even males have masks too. From probably since my youth, I was told to, you shouldn't cry. You shouldn't cry. You shouldn't show weakness. That's a sign of weakness. And really, that's a lie. A lot of our brothers and the men out there are dying because of stress, because they want to keep it balled inside. And you got this mask on this front, like, you know what I'm saying, like you untouchable. But on the inside, you a crying baby. You crying out for help.
Yeah.
And that's something that we got to be conscious of, man. It's okay to talk about and be vulnerable, but be wise on your vulnerability. So it's nothing wrong for you to confessing and like, yo, like I'm battling with this issue. I got a porn addiction, or I really am disgusted with how I look. And it's okay with saying that, because I had for a long time, I just think I was ugly. Even when Mondoos and other women, because she the one actually started it. She didn't know that word was that powerful, and it had a imprint on my heart when she said I was ugly. And I was darker than, my family. So I felt like the black sheep of the family. And I wasn't in that word for real, for real. And my dudes wasn't in it for real until later on. But my pops, he knew it, but he wasn't in it. I ain't never seen him whip out the Bible and teach us anything. You feel me? So although I tried to idolize and be like him, and whatever he said, I tried to do, because I found my identity in my dad. You know what I'm talking about? And it was out when everybody had a dysfunction, but not saying that it's okay to stay in it. And that like I always had this disposition. So I was the class clown, but I was only the class clown after I got my work done. And then I was very popular. I started really blossoming around my junior, senior year, as far as my being very sociable. But on the inside, I was craving for attention. Just being real. I wanted to be like the other cool cats that I thought was cool at the time. So they had plenty of women. Everybody was running to them, talking to them, laughing. I thought them folks was cool, so I was inspired to be similar to that. And then not knowing what I know now, that all I had to do was just be me. And but it started changing. So after graduating, went to college, then it started expanding to something different. Now I was the center of attention all the time. Like, I knew how to command the room. I knew how to draw a crowd. I knew how to get a party started. Like I was that centerpiece in a lot of times. But on the inside, I wanted to be independent, but I wasn't independent. I was revolutionary, but I was always fighting at the house. My mom Deuce, because I was very dominant myself. But she was taught to step out the masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that she knew this was what she was doing. This is just what happened. And my dad was passive at times until he got upset, and then you start seeing his aggression. But he was still very down to earth, very chill dude. So I kind of took some stuff that I ain't need. Being over domineering because I always felt I had to defend myself all the time. I always felt like that ain't nobody gonna get one over on me because I always had to fight at the house. Like if I made my own choice to do something, it was always confrontation about the choice I made. But it's my choice. You know what I'm saying? It was never understood. Or you made your choice. That's cool. It's always trying to persuade me to do something I didn't want to do, and then when I want to do it, it was frowned upon. You know what I'm talking about? So I had this mask. You know what I'm saying? I'm a tough dude. I'm this tough guy. So I ended up moving from a good home to being in the street by choice. Like I had a dope home. I wasn't hurting for nothing. It's just the streets was what it was drawing to me. But that's a spiritual tip too. Um, and I was trying to find identity, my own authentic identity, and I didn't find it. I didn't find it. I got into game banging. I was playing ball. I thought football was my identity for a while, until it was stripped from me for being disobedient to God. Um, I thought my identity was to be a womanizer because all my uncles and all my friends was womanizers. So I picked up these traits, these unnecessary traits. I thought I had to be like this super freak. So I wanted to be a porn star at one time. You see all these different things, but then when you see me, I'm still smiling. I'm still happy or happy looking.
Happy-ish.
Happy-ish. So, I had to remove the mask. So that word though, I got into a dark place. I had a lot of dark stuff going on that I didn't even know was like super legit. In the back of my mind I knew. But when it hit, that's what changed and made me start changing, running to God. And I started finding my identity in the scriptures. So that's to
Good
catch it
stuff.
back up.
Yeah.
And this is like I want the brothers to know that you're valuable. You're valuable, brothers. Men all over the world, especially the ones that look similar to me, you're valuable. You have a gift. Keep your gift. Wait until you're married to express that gift. Then you have other gifts. Now, I'm talking about sex for those, he alluded. But you have other gifts too, and God will make gifts, make room. Your gifts, God said your gifts will make room for you. So that your room will be expounded with those gifts. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't need to have your identity in gifts either. Move in them, but you don't even have identity in them. Because I play ball and I'm pretty fast. And my identity was playing ball and being very fast. So if I wasn't winning, I wasn't that dude, it'll eat me up.
That's good.
But you got to be able to identify being a strong man and a strong man of God. And that comes by action. Reading the word, I read the word, and that's what showed me who to look for to marry. At first, hip hop and TV, all the sluts that's being displayed. That's what I was trying to get with all the time. Not knowing, psychologically, you know what I'm saying, you being prone to be in a system. And that could be another topic of discussion too. But I just want to encourage you, brothers, and especially ones that look like me, that you're valuable. You have a presence in the home. You're called to be a husband, one, to be a leader. That goes hand in hand. And then you're called to be a father. So those are two main callings that you're supposed to be moving into, supposed to be. A lot of people say you ain't ready for it, but that's coming with maturity and getting in a place where God releases you to do what you need to do. Um, so I want to encourage you to stay strong. You don't gotta be jelly belly. You don't gotta be over dominant. You can be assertive, and a lot of people will mistake your assertiveness for being loud and being yelling when you're assertive. You know what I'm saying? My wife had to find that out.
Because some people do. But I did. I had to learn my husband because I wasn't used to having a male
Example:
righteous male.
strong,
Yeah, that too.
righteous male example.
Yes. So authority was an issue for me, of having somebody tell me what to do or to even correct me. Nobody, even females, they couldn't tell me what to do because of that. So that made me take a little longer. I had to go the longer route with learning. And same with my husband, it took me longer to really understand his intent. And sometimes I'm
We
still
still
learning. It's
learning.
better, much better,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to really learn his intent, that just because he may have, some extra movement with the hands or whatever, that he ain't coming at me like how I was used to seeing it. When you doing all this, you ready to fight. But that was, whatever. I
Just
had to
use my
learn.
hands to talk.
Yeah, right. Same with me. Some people think, why, your head moving and all this, but no, that's just how that's just how I talk. It's just how I talk.
um,
But yeah, knowing his intent, I had to learn what his intent, and not trying to be. Again, I had the same issue he had with trying to be defensive and defend myself. So I was, every single thing almost that he said, I was defensive because I'm thinking I had to defend myself, or that he had a different intent behind what he said, or a different motive behind whatever he said. So, but that's another. Well, it kind of go into the next point, which is character. A lot of time, our character behaviors, we try to. Let me see how to say this. Our identity kind of shapes our character. What we think our identity is.
mm-hmm.
It plays a big role in our character. So I would say this for an example. What's a good example, Holy Spirit? Because I was thinking about this earlier. So I guess I'll say, for example, some people talk too much, but they think it's cute. No, for real. I'm so serious. And it's really disgusting on a female. It is really disgusting. But like, you can be talking to them, but they either talk too much or loud, like extra loud. But that's another defense mechanism to portray that you are bigger or badder, or I ain't gonna let nobody punk me out, or I ain't gonna let nobody, you know, try to what you call it, try to make a scene, or whatever you want to call it. But it's just a defense. You really trying to guard yourself, but you don't have to do that, because a lot of time people are coming at you. They're not trying to demean you or belittle you in whatever they have to say to you,
or
but
even offend.
or offend you, but because that's what they're used to, they automatically give that off in defense. Or um the no eye contact thing.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people that do that. You try to talk to them, and they either put their head down or they look off. They can't look you in the eye and talk to you. And I would say I dealt with that too, in a sense, especially with men, and I'm still growing with that, because yeah, that's a whole nother story. But he's so silly. Yeah, eye contact thing. It's so many things. Makeup. Let me tell my story. I guess I'll just tell him. That's the best way. So makeup, lashes, weaves. This is something I noticed, and I had to learn it later, or I noticed it later. As God dealt with me and molded me into the identity that my true identity, is I change my hair almost every day. I literally changed my hair
When I was dating her,
almost every day.
they thought she was 5 different females. They said, "Dang, Jesse, you doing like that?" I said, "No,
They didn't know
it's
I was
just
the
one
same
lady."
person. But the truth is, yes, I love hair. I do hair. I still do hair. I love hair, but there was a true underlying underneath, which was my identity. Part of my identity lied in my hair, because I thought, or how I did it was like, let's say I'm not feeling good today. Let's say I'm just not. I'm changing my hair, or
It
if
was her
I'm,
escape.
yeah, it was like my escape, or like a mask, literally like a mask, like. Or let's say I'm bored, or but there were other things I should have been doing, but that was me saying I'm bored. Change my hair. But what God showed me was, that's again, like he said, an escape. It was a way that I escaped. Almost like people change their makeup, putting all these lashes on, and not, if God gave you permission to do it, I'm not saying you can't wear makeup. That's not what I'm
That's a
saying.
liberty thing.
Yeah, that's one of those liberty things. I know for me, he told me not to wear it, but I'm not condemning nobody. You wear your makeup. I'm telling my what he dealt with me, because certain things he dealt with me because I thought that I had to do it. So that was the issue.
It was an insecurity.
Yes, it was an insecurity. So I literally had a backup pair of lashes in my purse. Like, you weren't gonna catch me not having my lash on. Like, no, not happening. Period. I would panic. I panicked so many times in my past that I couldn't find my lashes because my lashes was coming off if I had my glue on me to put them back on. Like that. I wore a little makeup. I didn't do that a really, really long, but and I wouldn't say that I felt like I needed the makeup part. But the lashes was an issue for sure. The hair changing it every day out of that place was an issue. Um, it's so many different little things in that. But that's an example of, I guess, uh,
Your character was being built. That's the
yeah,
reason.
by what I thought my identity was. So a lot of things changed though as I was walking with God, and baby was a little sad. He's still kind of a little sad because there's so much change. Like I don't even wear certain stuff I used to wear because I don't even feel comfortable in it no more. And it's not that I'm not beautiful in it, but I guess because of how I was then, I don't want to I guess operate out the same place because when I wear certain clothing, it does make me feel a certain way. It does. It does. Women, the ladies know.
I mean, it's that same for the dudes. When dudes feel fresh, they
Yeah.
feel a certain way. It's a different confidence that come out.
Yeah, and nothing's wrong with confidence, but I know how I was, and just certain stuff I feel a little extra flirty, or I may feel a little extra.
See, that's why I'm sad.
Yeah, so
Flirt with me, you hear me?
I
flirt with me, baby. Flirt with me.
I flirt with him, but it's just certain some stuff I just don't feel comfortable in no more. Oh boy,
Let's go.
you silly. But I would say my whole point in saying this is really sit down and look at yourself and see, like, okay, certain behavior patterns that I have, why am I responding this way? Am I responding out of this way because I truly, it, well, one, does it model how Jesus will respond? Because that's a big thing. And two, is it you doing it out of defense to in a false sense of protecting yourself? And does your identity, or what you think your identity is, does it line up with what God said about you? Because that can be a hindrance too. If God said you're one thing, but
and
you're still saying that you're another, and you're still acting like you're another. For example, let's say he said you are free, you are delivered from whatever it was, and you're not let's say you're not a gangbanger, but you still out here gangbanging, or low key gangbanging. Like,
right?
Why you still
practicing your stacking?
Yeah, like, do you still feel like that's part of your identity?
What's the point?
Why you still dabbling in certain things, or why you still keeping the same company of people? Is it because your identity lied in who you were then?
Right.
Because that can be a thing. Some people were like the popular person. They were the, I don't want nobody to think that, I'm lame now, or I don't want, whatever it may be.
So, to piggyback off what she's saying, because I don't want to go to the next point without me saying anything.
Oh, go ahead.
So, like when I chose to gangbang, I chose to do it. It wasn't out of a resentment of my folks or my family. It was more so, I like the thought of union. I like the thought of brotherhood. I like the thought of being tough and strength. I like the thought of those things. And those things help, not help, but those things shaped me though. You feel me? Like I started walking a little harder. You know what I'm talking about? I had a chip on my shoulder. These things start to develop because of the environment, because of what I've seen, and being around certain personalities. So that false identity created some bad character. Um, Even the sagging of the pants. Although my dad was always like, "Yo, stop doing that. Like, you ain't in jail, put your pants up. You ain't even a homosexual, put your pants up." You know what I'm saying? And I, because he was my dad, you just talking because you're a policeman. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that he was trying to help my character stay afloat and not drop. But you know what I'm saying? All the things I inspired to be and do was on TV, and that changed my character. And me not having that, me not having that word close to me very strongly, I didn't stand strong as I ought to. Uh, Come on in.
Oh Jesus! Hold
Um, Now, the baby finna come say hey, but she's
on.
on
No,
the
she.
boob. So yeah, I don't think she
I
just
ain't smuggling the baby.
yeah, so she don't being weird, you guys. Um, but um, but even in that shifted and that changed some things. So, I was starting getting arrogant, and I have a pride of life. It was a strong aura of pride. It went from having confidence to having a lot of pride. And once that hit, then nobody could tell me anything at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the football field doing my thing, and I know I'm the best big out there. I got all the oohs and ahs every time we put on pads, and I walk with that air, but I couldn't get on my coach. Um, we because I thought he was soft. What I'm saying. You just try to be hard because you're a coach, and you think you got a right to talk to me this way because you're a coach. But in me, I was like, you just an average dude. Know what I'm saying? If you want to get some gloves, we get them gloves too. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of arrogance I had. I ain't just like, oh yeah, he's just doing his job. I could have easily did that. But nah, I felt it right for me, you know what I'm saying, to check him at times. Nah, you ain't gonna disrespect me. I'm a man just like you. And I ain't even had to go that route. But because I feel like that's what you do, you know what I'm saying? So, man, you hold yourself down no matter if you got a woman with you, you got your posse with you, you got your brother with you got your hood with you, you supposed to hold yourself down no matter what. But although that's true, but you don't have to go about it certain avenues and certain ways. And don't let those false characteristics or those wrong characteristics come out and portray to be something different. So then when I got started getting that word, right? So getting that word, I found out I need to be a man of God. I need to be a strong husband, a strong leader. I need to be my family to God. You feel me? I have more of a presence than I realize. I'm more valuable than I realize. Because I don't think my father ever told me I was valuable. He never said it like that. You know what I'm saying? He used to be a womanizer until he got married. So he was like, just do that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah. Sleep with women. Don't get caught. That's how he was. Just don't get caught. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do it. Don't get caught. Don't go to jail. Stay out of trouble. That was his motto. Wrong instructions. But when I got in Christ, live right, stand up tall. You know what I'm saying? You like your lineage is greater than you realize. You know what I'm saying? And that I believe a lot of that come from not knowing where you come from too, and all the residue of slavery, and all the brainwashing, and all the probing your mind, and all the teaching of unnecessary things
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of males in America.
And the lack of parenting,
Mm-hmm.
fathers in the house. It has a lot. And my heart go out to y'all because I do get it, and I have brothers in this. It sucks
Mm-hmm.
to see that they didn't have a male present to kind of guide them on how to be a man, or how to be, and kind of mold them into the identity.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The right way. Cause
yeah, the right.
I got molded as the world. I had my mom say, "You need to stop sleeping with all these women." But my dad said, "Keep doing it." So who I'm gonna listen to? You or her? I listen to my dad. Why? Because he looked like me. He said it's okay. He got the authority. Although he gave over a lot of rights to my mom, he still had the authority wherever he said it really went. So it's a lot of things that although they did the best they can do. Don't we ain't here to bash
Yeah,
them.
we
They
yeah.
did the best they knew
Yeah.
what to do. You feel me? Um, So when I got in that word, it changed. You know what I'm saying? He showed me the hoes I was looking at and the ones I wanted at the time. He was like, you don't need them. You need the wife that's gonna hold you down right.